Hi guys, I'm back with a new chess puzzle, and in this position you need to show that there was a promotion during the game, and I want a complete proof of this. Okay, so you can pause the video and try to solve it. Okay guys, let's go for the solution. So in this position, one thing we can say, it's actually white to play because white is in check by the bishop in c8. Okay, and the question we could ask is, okay, what is the last black move to make this check? We're gonna pick an analyzer and try to see that. So obviously the last black move is not a bishop move. It's not like bishop e6 to c8, because it would mean that the white king would have been in check before the black move, which is not allowed in chess. So it's a discovered check, and you have four possibilities with this pawn. Like if the pawn took something in c6, check. You have the knight, the king, who could play e6 to f6 check, or f5 to f6 check, and you also have the pawn in g3. But it's not g4 g3, because the same g4 g3 is not allowed, because it would mean that the pawn would have put in check the white king before moving. But it can be done like this. Let's see this first variation. Imagine we are in this position. Black play f4, check. White play g4 and g take en passant, check. So this could be the last black move, taking en passant on g3. But it means that 2 moves ago we were in this position, okay? And so it means that the white pawn was in g2. But then you can see that the bishop is not in f1 anymore, it's in b1. But if this was the position 2 moves ago, how the bishop could be in b1? It means that this bishop is a promoted bishop. It's like the pawn h2 was promoted in a bishop, and the bishop then goes in b1. So this leads to a promotion of the pawn h2 in a bishop of light square. Now pick the variation with the king. Let's say he played king f5 to f6. We have the same question with the bishop in b1. How white made this check? It had to be a discovered check, but with which piece? We have actually no white piece that can make this discover. So it means that it's with a piece that is not anymore on the board. There is only one way to do this. A piece would have been in c2 or d3 or e4, and then goes in f6 check, and the black king takes it. It's only with a knight, so it means that the last white move is knight e4 to f6, king takes. But then, as you can see, you have 3 white knights on the board, and so one of them is a promoted knight. Okay, let's take the other variation of the king, e6 to f6. Same reason. This king would have been in check by this white knight, but what is the last white move? Obviously not a knight move in g8 check, so it had to be a pawn promoted in a knight, and so you have a promotion. Finally, the last variation, d7 take c6. Then the question is, what is the piece that would have been taken in c6? Only 3 white pieces are missing. The bishop of the dark square that started in c1, and the 2 pawns in g2 and h2. Obviously, in c6, this black pawn couldn't take the bishop of dark squares for obvious reason. So it needs to take one of the 2 pawns in g2 and h2. If it takes h2, it means that h2 was promoted in something. Okay. If it takes g2, maybe you don't have a promotion, but it means that g2 took in f3, e4, d5, c6, and then d7 takes c6. Okay. Let's analyze if this is possible. What are the black pieces that are missing? Actually, you have 5 black pieces that are missing. 1 bishop, 1 knight, and 3 pawns. But the dark square bishop that started in f6 couldn't have been taken by the pawn g2 because he had to take 4 pieces on light squares. So this bishop could be, for instance, taken in this variation on e3 by the pawn d2. So it leads to the fact that if we want to arrive to this position without a promotion, g2 took a knight, then the pawn, let's say e, then the pawn d, okay, this is still possible, and finally it has to take the pawn in a7, but the pawn started in a7 cannot be taken in c6, except if this pawn was promoted. And so this last variation leads to a possible promotion of the pawn a7. So finally we have a complete proof of the fact that there was a promotion during this game, but we don't know if it's a white promotion or a black promotion. It could be a promotion of G or H, or maybe of A7, G2 or H2 or A7. Well, tell me in the comment if you had the complete proof. Bye bye, guys.